Hey everyone, so I'm now moving on to the next scene that I want to analyze is from The Force Awakens, how it plays into The Last Jedi and also how it really sets everything apart from A New Hope, because everybody keeps saying that and The Force Awakens was very similar to A New Hope. Right now I'm going to watch the scene and then kind of review it as I go. Which is what I did before for the interrogation scene between Kylo Ren and Rey, and now I'm going to do the probably most difficult scene for a lot of people, which is Han Solo's death. So, but him really confronting Ben after Leia has asked him to bring him home. Actually, I'm starting it right from the point at which, you know, and everybody's kind of like made a good comment about that catwalk they walk out onto, that Kylo Ren is walking out onto it. Han kind of peeks from behind the corner and he gives his son this look, and then he's just like, he kind of knows, he's like sealing his fate as he steps out from behind there and follows him and then confronts him. So here we go. It's kind of it's like the perfect look Harrison Ford has on his face. Like he knows what's gonna happen if he does this. So, but he knows he has to, not just for Ben's sake, but because Leia asked him. This was... That was super powerful too, because up to that point we do not hear him like referred to as his true name, and his father's kind of like, you're gonna stop and turn around and look at me.
Han Solo, I've been waiting for this day for a long time.
Take off that mask. You don't need it.
What do you think you'll see if I do?
The face of my son.
There's some super good acting going on here. It's like so good and so subtle.
Your son, he's gone. He was weak and foolish like his father. So I destroyed him.
That's what Snoke wants you to believe. But it's not true. My son is alive.
No. The Supreme Leader is wise.
Snoke is using you for your power. When he gets what he wants, he'll crush you.
He takes a step back as he gets his father's gets closer.
You know it's true.
Yep. The look on his face says, yes, he absolutely knows it's true. Adam Driver, that is.
It's too late.
No, it's not. Leave here with me. Come home. I miss you.
This is so good because his face is like crumbling after his father says that. It's like very slight, but it's really good.
I'm being torn apart. I want to be free of this pain.
Yeah, well. This is dumb. Man, this is so dumb.
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it. Will you help me?
Yes, anything.
Again, very clever cinematic trick, because the music kind of got lighter, making you think maybe it's okay. He's offering the lightsaber to his father, but then it just turns totally black and he's in red, and now it's all dark, and you know it's not good.
Thank you.
hand touch on the face. I'm done. Yeah, Ben, that didn't do anything. Good job. And then Leia can sense what happened, so. Chewie is pissed, which rightfully so, nicely aimed shot there, and then it all goes to hell. So I'll just stop it right there. So, okay. Yeah, so much going on. So the first thing I want to get out of the way is the fact that I'm pretty sure Harrison Ford did not want to be in these movies anymore. I think people talked about that, and it's not a bad thing. It's just, what's nice is, and now I will get into spoilers for Last Jedi, we can see for the legacy characters, each sequel films is kind of, each one gets a focus, and they're handing something off, and they're stepping out of the light, and so, but this was something that was simultaneously very important for the character of Kylo Ren to do, and he feels like this will free him, and he's like, whatever it is that he feels the turmoil about, but he thinks it'll just solidify, whatever mistakes he might have made, he's like, okay, I've had a miserable life up to this point, so he thinks. That's the impression I'm getting, and from Adam Driver's performance, he's like, let me just push myself all the way over to the dark side like my grandfather did. He thinks this will push him all the way to that side, because maybe this is the one thing that his grandfather couldn't do when he, tried, when he, at that moment where he could have killed Luke and Return of the Jedi, he couldn't do it, and he's like, okay, I'm going to be more powerful than my grandfather and make that choice. Nope. And not only that, but it weakens him. The one thing he thought would shove him all the way to the dark side and just make him that monster he wants to be, it doesn't work, which we know. And like I was getting back to my previous point, is Harrison Ford did not really want to be in these movies. I mean, way back for Return of the Jedi, with the whole carbonite thing and Empire and all that stuff, he was like, oh, what if it would be really noble if Han Solo sacrificed himself for Luke and Leia to protect them, blah, blah, blah. So, but that was, I think, a little bit before we, we're solidified on a Leia Han romance, and we need that. Anyway, bottom line is, I know Harrison Ford was okay to take a step out of these movies a while ago, so I'm not at all surprised. And for me, as a moviegoer going into this, I knew what was going to happen in the scene before it even happened. So many people were upset and devastated and angry, and I knew it was going to happen before it happened, which made it all the more beautiful, because I knew this was a send-off for him, and it was a wonderful send-off. He did a great job, and oh my God, Adam Driver, this is where, because when I was, not convinced about Adam Driver, when I first heard he was cast, I was like, I don't know, but as the movie goes on, you kind of see what they're aiming for as far as this character, and then this just totally, he knocked it out of the park. I was like, oh, now I get it. I get what they're going for. I get what he's trying to do with the character. Never mind. This was an excellent choice. He's so good at this. And what more noble thing can Han Solo have as an exit to the story than to sacrifice himself for his son, which, Harrison Ford said he wanted to do for the other characters so long ago. This is the most noble thing. And it is the first major chip away at, Ben being like, no, I'm dark side, I'm a monster. No, he just put a good significant crack in that thought. And by reaching out to him, trying to get him to come back with him, you see his just face is crumbling. And what kills me about the scene too is that he's this close to listening to his father. It's like it's written all over his face. He believes him and he wants to go with him, but he doesn't. It's just written all over his face. Again, why I came back to the conclusion of really liking Adam Driver in this role. So obviously I still tear up, and I don't know if you guys saw that, I cry when I watch this. It's just so sad, and so it's it's just because it thinks he's we miss you, and it's true, and he's it's too late, and then he believes him. It's, oh my God, such a powerful, well-played scene, and the acting is superb. And again, from the start of this, the moment he walks out to that catwalk, he knows his fate, he knows what's going to happen, but he's going to do it. Why? Because he's going to do the noble and brave thing that Han Solo would do, and try and save the people and take care of the people around him, which is his character. As much as he likes to pretend that he is selfish and he doesn't give a crap about anybody, that's not true. And this is true from the original trilogy, when you watch, anytime anybody close to him is in trouble, he goes out to save them. First thing that happens in Empire is he's trying to get his butt out of there, and because Jabba's on the hunt for him, the minute he hears Luke's missing out in the snow, he's like, well shit, I gotta go get him. So yes, it's anytime there's somebody who is in need of his help, he will go and do it. So it is unequivocal, not only at Leia's behest that he did this, but to try and attempt to save and bring back his son. Of course he would do that. Of course he would sacrifice himself in that kind of way. And that's the other thing, is that's another reason why I think ultimately Ben Solo will turn back to the light, especially given what we've seen in The Last Jedi and the more conflict, and there's so much more to be said about that. But this was the first chip in that armor he's trying to build around himself about the dark side and being a dark, being what he is, and emulating Vader. I do not think Han's sacrifice will be in vain, and that's why I do think he will turn to the light. A lot of people are like, no, we've seen this already. I want to stay, like Vader did this and blah, 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 blah. Vader already turned. We don't need to have another villain turn. Well, first of all, he's not a villain. He's just a very, very conflicted character. I never thought he was the villain. I mean, I thought that's how they're setting it up. That's how they marketed it. But when The Force Awakens came out and based on Adam Driver's performance, I'm like, nope, that's not what they're going for here. We're going for a conflicted character all the way through. And so I'm okay. I don't see that he's the villain, and therefore I don't think it's too much of a similarity of Vader and like turning him, and that's not what this is about. And also, just this, I don't know, it's just so powerful what Han is trying to do here and save his son. And it's a great moment. This makes it even more evident to me that he will turn back to the light, because I would not want to see Han Solo's sacrifice be in vain. And everybody's like, oh, it'd just be the same thing. I don't want to see that. I just want him to see you be a bad guy. Well, what a waste of this, I don't think you were getting it. No offense. But anyway, interestingly enough, I just can watch this scene and just be like, and then review it afterwards. I don't think there's anything I missed. There's just so much going on here, and it's a very brief scene, but it's just, so well acted, and like very controversial still, but like so powerful. And again, as a move, this is what I'll just leave you with my first raw emotional response to was when I first watched this in the theaters for the first time. And this is exactly what I think that they wanted. So how J.J. Abrams immediately got that by setting up what he did, again, that's amazing, because you always want to take the audience on a particular journey, and like there's insight and interpretation, but I think I got exactly what they wanted me to get out of this the first time, which was, I'm watching him go out there to approach Ben, and I already know what's going to happen. I know what's going to happen. This is not going to end well. But I really didn't think that part of you wants to not believe that Ben could be so dark that he would murder his own father. But when you see how it's done, you understand why. And that I know the logical part of me is like, Harrison Ford doesn't really want to be in these films anymore. And that is fine. That's okay. But and I mean that in the best way possible, because this character gets a really, really tragically beautiful send-off. And he did a fantastic job in this movie, just to say. The whole time I'm like, I love old man Han Solo, and he's perfect, and I love it, and he's still him, and I love it. It's amazing. So anyway, so there is that. But then having this happen, I'm like, oh God, oh God, oh God. And then watching what's happening between the two of them, and Ben is so close to listening to him. And that's the other thing too, is what kills me is like everybody's trying to get close to him to convince him otherwise of what he thinks he is or what he needs to do. And his father was the one person who he probably felt like, he wanted to distance himself from the most, or felt like maybe he let down growing up. We don't know. We don't know any of that. This is speculation. But the one person who he wanted to pretend mattered the least mattered the most. And so therefore this scene is super powerful, getting him to, he's, trying to get him to come back with him, and it just doesn't work. But he's so close to listening. And I do truly believe in my person that the one person could have gotten this close to him, to get him this close to listening, would have been his father, and only his father. And that's why it's so powerful. Father-son time,